Welcome to the only daily podcast focusing on compliance news of the day. Each morning, start your day with a cup of coffee and Tom Fox, the voice of compliance, to hear about 4 of the top compliance, corruption, or leadership stories you will need to start your day. The Daily Compliance News is a production of the Compliance Podcast Network.
The Daily Compliance News for March 18, 2025. The Slack channel edition. We begin with that story from DealBook, but we're going to throw in Matt Levine over at Bloomberg as well. Is a story of spy accusations in an HR rivalry. It involves the companies Rippling and Deal. Rippling accuses Deal of planning a mole who then mined the company's Slack channel for confidential information, which Deal then used to steal business, allegedly, from Rippling. Rippling is now accusing Deal of perpetrating a brazen act of corporate theft. Matt Levine calls it just basically insane. Rippling says that the employee accused of being a plant, not named by name in the lawsuit filed, was caught through a honeypot trap. So it gets wilder and wilder. This is a great story for HR. Next up, from the BBC, every McDonald's in Britain has been warned by its owners they could face legal action if they fail to take steps to protect staff from sexual abuse. Britain's equality watchdog has written to all 1,400 branches telling them they must comply with their legal duties or risk enforcement after a BBC investigation uncovered claims of toxic culture of sexual assault and harassment. In January, McDonald's workers told the BBC they still face sexual harassment a year after the chief executive promised to clean up behavior at the fast food chain. McDonald's, of course, said it is committed to doing everything it can, and they have plans in place that are working. Next up from the Financial Times, Britain's financial watchdog, the FCA, will ban Crispin Odey from the financial services sector and fine the hedge fund founder £1.8 million for a lack of integrity in his conduct after facing allegations of sexual harassment and assault. He is alleged to have deliberately sought to frustrate the OIM's disciplinary process in his own conduct and to protect his own interests. His fall from grace is after the Financial Times detailed allegations of sexual harassment and assault against him over a period of many years. He has denied these allegations, of course, and now it looks like chickens have come home to roost for Mr. Odey. And our final story comes to us from Bloomberg, which reports that Novo Nordisk AS, a member of the UK pharmaceutical industry, once again, following a 2-year suspension for breaching the country's Code of Practice for drug makers. The restoration of membership followed the extensive audits of the Danish obesity drug makers' compliance procedures and governance. The audits were carried out by the UK Prescription Medicines Code of Practice Authority. That's a mouthful. Novo's suspension in 2023 was a rare public rebuke of a company that had been catapulted into the public eye from its obesity drugs. The Daily Compliance News is a production of the Compliance Podcast Network and a proud member of C-Suite Radio. Thanks so much for listening. I hope you'll join me again tomorrow.